look, if you talk out, we're going to make you lose your job. And this is a big football club, Arsenal. Jewish people wrote in support of me. I've clearly said it's not about Jews or Judaism. It's a group of people that want silence about what's going on in Israel. It's a group of people that don't want people to hear what their people are doing to another group of people. And they've gone, he's not an academic, he's not a thing. So I've just got, what, the thick kitman can't have an opinion? And they're like, When I see that, I still think of my team.
You still see that as your team?
That's my team.
Okay, so after 22 years, Arsenal have finally won the Premier League once more. And it's not just that, the Gunners are also in the Champions League final this year. Exciting for the fans. But this isn't exactly what today's episode is about. Today we're speaking to Mark Bonnick. He worked for Arsenal for 22 years, most recently as Arsenal kitman, before being fired in December 2024 over comments he posted on X criticizing Israel over the genocide in Gaza. This happened after a supporters club lodged a complaint about Mark's posts alleging they were anti-Semitic. Now his case was quickly framed by different media outlets as one of anti-Semitism, but when the Football Association investigated the posts, they found no misconduct. Arsenal also stated that they did not find any evidence of anti-Semitism. They said they dismissed him on the grounds that he had brought the club into disrepute. In May of this year, the UK-based NGO War on Want cited Mark Bonnick's case in a recent report saying, quote, Bonnick appears to have been the target of a smear campaign led by a handful of politically motivated individuals making allegations of anti-Semitism against him. Well, now Mark is suing Arsenal for unfair dismissal. He believes he was discriminated against because of his opposition to Israel's actions. We sat outside the Emirates Stadium to hear his story. My name is Mohamed Hashem, and this is Real Talk.
Mo, over here.
There you are.
How are you, mate? Nice to see you.
Listen, it's so good to have you on Real Talk. Thank you for coming on.
Pleasure.
No, pleasure is all mine, sir. Look, we're right at the Emirates, right under the big logo. I just wanted to make sure that we established that we have a lot to talk about today.
We do.
So, yeah, let's start the conversation. There's so much we're going to get into.
Thank you.
Let's do it. So, Mark, here's where I want to start. Obviously, people know where we are now. We've established it. So how does it feel right now being back here? Especially
mixed.
in light of everything, in light of them winning the Premier League. I mean, the Champions League finals is going to be next weekend. But how does it feel amidst all of this?
It's mixed because a lot of what I had here has been taken away wrongly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But you're so proud of the team. It's your team. The team has nothing to do with what has gone on behind the scenes and what the people running it do.
Do you still feel a sense of pride?
Oh, of course. There's
still.
Yeah.
Because you just said it. You said despite everything that was taken away.
Yeah, no. It's one of the big things I think with all football clubs is reflective glory. So people know I was involved with Arsenal, so I had that reflective glory. You can't get away from that, and people bask in it. And a lot of that has been taken away. Well, all of that's been taken away, but you still feel immense pride that your team has won the Premier League, is in the Champions League final. And that would go for anyone. It's the same as the lot down the road when they were in that other European Cup.
Yeah.
You know, they're pleased with that.
You were the kit manager when
assistant kit manager.
Assistant kit manager.
Yeah.
So what does a kit manager do? Just so we're clear.
Literally put out kit.
Okay. So you're in charge of making sure
all the players get their training kit on match days. All the match kits ready. You put out the training equipment and get all of the equipment ready for the day. And at the end of the day, you collect all the dirty laundry in to give to the laundry ladies, ready for tomorrow.
Sure.
Then prepare again.
Does that come with you befriending a lot of the players?
Yeah.
Over the years?
Over the years, yes. Yeah.
Because I mean, I was a huge fan of Thierry Henry. I was a big Thierry Henry fan. But do you end up making friendships with players of that caliber?
Yeah. Thierry come and worked for us, so I would consider Thierry Henry to be one of my friends.
Wow.
Yeah, it is well. And I don't really want to bore you with stories.
No, it's okay. I wanted to see if there was a link there, but I got what I wanted from that.
Yeah.
22 years.
Yep.
And did you do any other roles, or was it just mainly the kit manager job?
I coached from...
You coached the youth, I think? Or?
When I started off, I started with a community programme.
Yeah.
So I worked on soccer schools for Arsenal, paid by Arsenal. I kept my first ever pay slip for years. It was a red and white one with Canon at the back. I kept that for years, and my kids say, "Oh, you're a hoarder." So at this one particular time, I've binned it. I wish I'd kept it, because then Arsenal would realise, yes, he's worked here. But you'd go all over. I did Italy, Cyprus, Greece. I coached for Arsenal, so you know I did all of that. So yeah, started coaching on soccer schools. I got called over to the academy because I'd done something for a friend who worked at the other lot down the road, and so they've said do this. So I started coaching. I did goalkeeping for him, so I went and got my level 2 goalkeeping through Arsenal. So yeah, I just all of the different stuff. I worked on the double clubs. There's a little estate just down there that I worked on. So I worked there for God knows many years, and that was for Arsenal. It wasn't self-employed. I got a pay slip, and at the moment Arsenal are still saying, well, he only started working for us 2013. But I have been self-employed through Arsenal, but I actually worked for Arsenal and was on a pay slip from 2002.
Okay, well, we're gonna go sit and talk more about this. I don't want to keep you standing for the whole interview, but before we do, Mark, since 2024, December 2024 till now,
Yeah.
how has, and this is, I'm citing the time that you got fired by Arsenal.
Yeah.
How has these past couple of years been for you?
Obviously, up and down.
Sure.
And I've worked, and I was asked,
When you say up, though, because I think people would imagine it'll be a lot more down, but it's interesting that you're saying up and down.
well, I think it'd be easy. I brought my 2 kids up on their own, so I still feel I have to set examples, and you have to work. You have to go and perform. I worked on Arsenal's mental health project, so I went. I got signed off with anxiety and depression, and I knew, having done all the studies and everything else, I knew if I just sat on the sofa and got deeper and deeper, it'd be worse. And it would have been easy for me to go on statutory sick pay, but there's a mental health side to working.
Yeah.
So I had to do stuff that I struggle with, but unfortunately enough, people that know me value me and have given me work. But yeah, it's work, not like putting out pants. Yeah, so I struggled with that a bit.
All right, well, we're gonna get into it more. Let's go. We're gonna go find a seat now.
Yeah.
And we'll continue the story.
Nice and shady.
Nice and shady, yeah, away from the sun.
Cool.
We'll just sit here in front of the sun, I suppose. All right, have a seat, Mark.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, so I'm just gonna get into it right away. The reason why we're even having this conversation, at the heart of all this, is a series of tweets, right?
Yeah.
That you had a personal profile on Twitter, on X.
Yeah.
You tweeted a few things, which I'll read to you in a little bit, but they were basically deemed as pro-Palestine, and basically things snowballed and they led to your firing. So you're telling me that there was a disciplinary hearing.
Yeah.
What happened from you tweeting up until that hearing?
Right. So this particular day I've tweeted again, as I'd done from about 2013. Yeah. This guy hiding behind a slogan comes on, accuses him of being a neo-Nazi, anti-Semitic.
Accuses you of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I asked him, where have I been anti-Semitic? Nothing. The next thing I know, he's mentioned where I work, and there's this pile-on, and it's, you knew straight away something was wrong. So literally, another guy comes on, makes a comment about, did I think it was the Jews or whatever? And I said, no, there's not enough evidence at the moment with what's in front of me to say who it was, but I'm just making a point. And I knew something was wrong, so I come off. My daughter came in, so we deleted the accounts, deleted my Facebook.
Why did you feel like you needed to delete the accounts?
Because he's mentioned my work.
Okay.
And he
outed you, basically.
Not only that, he's told me what he's going to do. He says, I'm going to go to your club, I'm going to get you sacked, I'm going to go to the police, I'm going to go to the Football Association.
And this is an anonymous account, just so we're clear. Okay.
Yeah, hiding behind a slogan, never again, 2020. And to me, you know, you have a conversation. If I'm wrong, show me where I'm wrong. If I'm right, admit I'm right. Not get all bully and get all your mates in to try and, you know, bully me.
Was this the first time that you were tweeting your opinions about something? You were tweeting opinions about a particular...
No, I'd literally been doing this, been on Twitter since about 2013. And I'd had conversations with a lot of people in Israel. You know, they'd say I'm anti-Semitic. I'd ask them where, never got a reply. But you'd actually, someone would say something, oh, Palestine's false, blah, blah. So you'd go, well, actually, Palestine was first mentioned on a still 1150 BC as Palisat. So they're like, oh, no, that's not it. And then they'd say, oh, the Romans, where is your historical proof of that? So you'd have a debate. And some of them are vile. And not just on one side, both sides. You know, like, you don't need to say that. You're not making a valid point. You're just being nasty. So you wanted people to discuss it in an open and honest manner.
I'm gonna read you some of those tweets.
Yep.
Just so we also put everything into context.
Yes. Well, that was something else he did. He gave you quotes out of context, just quotes, and I'll go through all of them with you.
So the tweets that I have in front of me, those are the ones that were basically reported by different media outlets. So I'll read a couple. One says, yes, it's all about Jewish supremacy and not wanting to share the land, ethnic cleansing. Another one, why should they be protected any more than any other community? Some see this as the problem. Jewish communities thinking that they should be put before others. And another one was, Hamas offered to release all hostages in October. Zionist Israel refused. Persecution complex.
Yep.
So how does it feel hearing those back?
Nothing really, because I know all of them were in replies to people that had said something. If you like, the thing about Jewish supremacy was you had people within the Knesset, the Jewish government, coming out saying that, believing they're the chosen people. So it was off the back of what someone else has said. And I'd be quite careful with my language. So if someone used the word Jewish supremacy, I felt it was all right for me to use it. So I wouldn't use language they hadn't used, because, you know, purely because you start thinking, oh, is it going to be a trap? And I didn't want to get caught in any traps.
Where does this all stem from? This all stems from you basically seeing what's unfolding in Gaza and wanting to say something?
Yeah, I actually think it stems from a little bit more than that. The fact I come from a large family, I don't like bullies, I like equality, I like people.
You're the youngest of 6.
Yeah. So you want people to be decent people, you know, regardless of race, creed, religion, sexuality, just be decent people. And seeing what I'd seen and what had gone on, and I still to this day don't know where I'd made my first tweet or what it was about, but I know going into someone's house and stealing is wrong. You know,
stealing is wrong.
Yeah, and we haven't stolen land, and I can't think of the guy's name, and his famous quote is, "If I didn't steal it, someone else would."
Oh yes, that was Yaakov.
Yes.
Yeah.
An American Jew.
Yeah.
If I didn't steal it, someone else would. Hold on, he's admitting to stealing it, and you're saying you don't steal things, and just stuff like that.
So you really like you follow it, like you follow the updates, you follow the news, you follow what's been developing in Israel Palestine.
Yeah.
Prior to the genocide. You know?
As I said, if I'm going to comment on something, I want to be correct. I want to know that what I'm saying is right. So, and obviously you've got different opinions.
So once the basically people connect you to Arsenal, they make the link to you working here.
Yeah.
You said you went and deleted the tweets.
Yeah.
But why did you feel a sense to delete it? Did you feel like you? Go ahead.
I feel to protect Arsenal.
to protect Arsenal? Because people would say, well, you knew you were in the wrong in the first place. You just were hiding and saying it, and as soon as someone connected it, you immediately went and deleted.
No, because my tweets weren't about Arsenal, weren't about football in this instance. They were about Israel and Palestine. I knew straight away they'd be going, not at me, at Arsenal, over me being there. That, oh, he's Arsenal, so it would then, they'd be bringing him where I worked. And I didn't want that because it wasn't about where I worked.
And yet, despite that, Arsenal said you brought the club into disrepute.
Yeah. Well, one of their big things was, like, we're off on a Wednesday, the boys have education. I'm at home, I get a phone call from the operations manager, and I'm sure he says, oh, there's antisemitism. He says, we're suspending you, we'll have...
Who said this, sorry?
My operations manager.
Okay, so this is as soon as the tweets reached
the club. I didn't know, he said that it's been in the paper, and it's what the guy...
Oh, so they got it from the media?
Yeah.
Okay, so the media started reporting on this before Arsenal got in touch with you?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, they did, because they said it's in the papers, and I hadn't seen the papers. And then all of a sudden I'm getting stuff from friends that you're in the papers. And this guy's actually tweeted, I've made him famous, boasting. And you're like, fine, you're doing that. You're sort of a bit of a coward because you won't come and talk to me and have a discussion, and we can agree to disagree. So then we've got like the fact finding. One of the first things they say to me, have you seen the FA's media release? And I'm like, no. I said, which was nothing to do with the media. It was me and my own personal opinions speaking about Israel. And I've been doing it since this. And they're going, oh, well, the FA are this. And I said, well, from what I understand, the FA and Kick Out have looked at it and found no anti-Semitism. And they're like, oh. And there's a complete lack of candor from Arsenal saying they were obliged to speak to the FA. We didn't know this until we had this access request.
Let me pause here because there's a few things that we need to unpack. So there was an FA report that was reported in the media that said, basically said that they didn't see you as breaching any of Arsenal's rules.
I don't think the FA put it in the media. It was to Arsenal. Arsenal had to go to the FA and report me.
Yep.
So they reported me.
And they cleared you.
Yeah.
They said that they couldn't find any evidence of anti-Semitism.
Oh, no, they said it was political. They said it isn't, they said it was political. Well, I don't think it's political. I think it's moral.
Who said this? The FA?
FA said it was political. But at no point until we did the subject access request did we know Arsenal had to go to the FA. And I'd said to them in the first meeting, well, I believe the FA and Kick It Out have looked at it and found no anti-Semitism. They didn't come back and say, well, we need to talk to them. They all hush. Mentioned the FA a few times. Obviously, I got sacked for being offensive and inflammatory, bringing the club. Well, the bottom line, and I hope I quote this right, is the Football Association's media release says something like this. If the Football Association find any comment to be inflammatory or offensive, the Football Association will take whatever action it deems necessary. FA took no action, deemed no action necessary, but clearly told Arsenal that my comments were political, and they also had to tell Arsenal they found this matter shut.
Yeah, that's what the FA said.
Yeah. So you got...
How did you react to that when you read those words?
I just thought disappointed in Arsenal, disappointed in Arsenal's HR department or people department, but it sort of made me chuckle, the fact that why couldn't they be honest? Why didn't they say, well, look, they've said it's political. Sorry, we're going to find it's political. We don't want you to do any more tweets. Carry on. But no, the decision had already been made. Kangaroo court.
Kangaroo court?
Yeah, I believe now, yeah.
Okay, now that we've established basically the big points, take me to that Christmas Eve call, 2024.
It's 4 days later, as I say, no new information has been given. I presented no more, they give no more to me. And as I said earlier, I'm leaving the building, the security guard comes down and asks me for my car pass because you need security pass. And I didn't think of it at the time, and he's really apologetic. And so I hand it to him, and it weren't until months later I suddenly thought, if a decision hadn't already been made, why is he taking my pass?
Sorry, because there's, I'm trying to catch up to you, Mark.
Sorry, I'm bouncing.
No, please don't apologize at all. But that's got to be just that moment right there, the moment of you giving back your pass to the security guard, who I'm sure you would have developed some sort of relationship with.
That's why he's all apologetic.
You're a friendly guy. I mean, we're only talking for a little bit. I feel like we've become friends, but
yeah, we have.
For someone that's worked for 22 years at an institution like this, and then feeling that you've been wrongly done, and you were basically had to go unfairly. And there's a moment where you give your pass back to the security guard. What's a moment like that to you? I mean, what was that?
I think because I hadn't had a decision that I was told I was going to get. So I don't know if it's another lie or whatever. And for whatever reason, they didn't give me a decision, you know, told to go out of the room for 10 minutes, 20 minutes later, we called back in, haven't made a decision. Then you find out the guy who was head of the committee thing says, oh, there was too much information to go through. Well, why have a hearing if you don't know all the information? You know, surely you read everything, you go this, that, for, against. So you do your research, your due diligence, and on the day, if nothing else is done, and I've not put a good case forward, you go, sorry, you are sacked. If I put a good case forward, you say, yes, you keep your job. None of that. It's, oh, we haven't made a decision. I walk out and the guy was passed. And I don't think anything of it. I'm just thinking, well, I was told I was going to get a decision. And then obviously come the 24th of at home, I'm told, oh, you're sacked. Will you be appealing? I said, yeah, I'll put my appeal in straight away. I still had the company laptop, got on it. Yes, I want to appeal. It was just, I think in the way they handled it, I've said to my legal team, I want to make sure no one else has to go through this, and Arsenal train their people properly in this sort of process, because it's a disgrace.
Did anyone from the club, whether management or players, reach out to you in private?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but you go through stuff, they're scared because...
Well, I mean, I don't want to get into it if you don't want to, but when you say yes, first off, who are they and what do they say?
I won't give names because
okay, sure.
They feel if they'll be persecuted.
But players?
Players, yeah. From previously as well. Staff, they're all like, can't believe it, sort of all that stuff.
So it's in support of what's, in support of you, basically.
Yeah. Well, obviously, they're within it, they've gone, we've had complaints, people have written in. So through the subject access, we also, during the meetings, asked how many. They said, oh, it's irrelevant. It was 5. But they couldn't say that. They've said to us in the notes, between 5 and 10. What is it? Is it 5? Is it 6? You'd think if someone's complaining, and every complaint has to be dealt with, regardless of how trivial. So you'd think, you'd go, well, it was 22. And this is the breakdown of them. Well, we were given 5. It looks like 2 of them are duplicates, so it's only 4. 2 against, 2 for.
Well, to play devil's advocate here, Mark, don't you see that this is a case where this club is potentially looking at what you have said and being like, well, this really pushes to the side a group of the fans, a particular group of the club's fan base, and it kind of overshadows them? No.
Straight away, no. Jewish people wrote in support of me. I've clearly said it's not about Jews or Judaism. It's a group of people that want silence about what's going on in Israel. It's a group of people that don't want people to hear what their people are doing to another group of people. So no, and I also don't think the club are going, well, it's about this. And because I shut the account, they didn't see all the tweets. They saw what was put in, and they were saying, about being offensive, and I said, well, hang on, people will be offended if they want to be or are told to be. And there was one woman from Brighton who used to post on a regular basis, and I'd post back, and that's where that comment about Hamas offers to release all the hostages in October, the Zionist government refused because they had an agenda. So she's then also come back, oh, he's told this. And the quote that I come back to her was something an Israeli general did. He said about the Israeli government having the mark of Cain. Well, I've never heard of that. So again, educate yourself. I've gone, found out what the mark of Cain was, what it meant. And she said, oh, he told me I had the mark of Cain. Well, if you were offended by it, tell me you're offended by it, explain why, and then I can apologise or say, well, sorry, you're saying the same thing. Your government, or government you say ain't doing any wrong, did this.
Did you, I guess, how do you look back on the what's been called the double standard in not just sports and politics and media? There's been many cases of double standards at play here, but particularly in football, people immediately point to Ukraine. And they'll say, look what happened when there was Ukraine solidarity and how open clubs were and how open players were. And they immediately compare it to solidarity with Gaza and the Palestinian people. Well, the lack of solidarity. But they say that there's a double standard at play.
Straight away, Zinchenko commented about Israel, nothing really said. Mo and Ellie said something about Palestine, he's pulled.
In 2021, how did you follow that case when Mohamed and Ellie tweeted in support of Palestine?
I must have missed it, to be honest.
Okay.
So, but then you sort of saw things going on, and then I knew people had spoken out about it. I'm going through it, and I see Arsenal's statement about Mo and Ellie, and I've actually used that statement in a couple of the meetings and that. And in my appeal, they asked, "Where'd you get it from?" I said, "Well, it's a club statement." And to me, they would have gone, "Well, we've made this statement, blah, blah, blah. But where'd you get that statement from?" I said, "Off the internet." I said, "Go and look at Arsenal-Israel comments. Look at what you said." But I was told in my appeal, "Well, you didn't send us the comment in." And you're like, should I really have to send in one of your own comments, a standard that you've set? And you're like, you're not doing your job.
But Nindi, I mean, yeah, I'm sure he was spoken to, but he was never let go.
No.
Because of that tweet.
No.
I mean, surely it would have been a huge scandal as well, but.
You can argue over Mesut Ozil.
It was, and
he starts to speak out.
China's treatment of the Muslim Uyghurs, yeah.
So he starts speaking out.
Do you think he was pushed out because of that?
Possibly. I think double standards were in play. And it's how you have all the fluffy stuff around Arsenal. I was always taught one of Arsenal's mantras was act with class. Now, I got my job through Liam Brady, who said basically I did that. I represented Arsenal in the right way. And I'd go places, people were pleased, I'd like to think pleased to see me when I turned up. I just done a charity event for the second year running over Hitchin, because there's a story behind that. But it's Arsenal, it's fractious. It's people say, oh, they've won the league, they've won the Premiership.
Yeah.
But they don't see what it's like behind.
When you started finding these labels of anti-Semitism being thrown at you, whether online or in the media, how did you react?
If it's online, straight away it was, please show me. Because as the quotes you would have seen that were sent into Arsenal, I clearly state it's not about Jews or Judaism, it's about Israel and Palestine. Yeah. Or please stop trying to use and weaponise Jews, this is about Israel and Palestine. When it's in the papers, you're like, wow, it's there.
Yeah.
But knowing I hadn't done it, you throw mud at me, some of it might stick, but I'm going to fight it.
How did your family react? I mean, when we first called you, it was your daughter's. You were about to go to your daughter's wedding. But I'm curious to hear how
When it first come up,
they reacted to all of this.
my daughters come in and said, they're just woke, Dad. Just woke. Get off it, stay off it. Woke. And then obviously once I got sacked, she's like, I can't believe this, you know, that's not you. What do you think? And I'm like, well, it's what they've done it to protect themselves. It's all about money now. So yeah, I am disappointed. I love the job. It weren't real work. I would have continued till I was 70, probably got a nice little send off. My grandson would have been more involved around things.
What are you, 63, 64?
I'm 63 this year.
63 this year. Okay, so you're still 62 years young, I should say.
Yeah, I don't feel it.
So do you miss it?
Yeah. Because I'm fortunate enough to have good people around me that are giving me work. And I would say that's because they know what type of person I am. But I'm past doing proper work, really. I struggled. I did labouring. And it was
Labouring?
like, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and it's like, as a kid you do it, you know, and you think, oh great, I'm getting, now it's like, oh geez, and I'm working with my boy, moving ladders, and he does.
And this is all basically to make ends meet?
Yeah. Well, in their little thing, Arsenal have come back and said about Sainsbury's workers, what they get paid, because I'm now self-employed. So if I don't work, I don't get paid. But they're saying about going to one of the supermarkets because it saves them money. But I could have quite easily gone on SSP, gone on the sick with anxiety and depression. But you want to set examples to people. You know, I don't want to say these people have beaten me, and they're right, because they're not. They're clearly not. And I got real heart from Reginald D's Hunter's case, where the judge has gone about Candle, where these legal team haven't given the judge all the information, and the judge knew exactly what these people were trying to do: silence him and cancel him. And that's what these people are trying to do with me. And Arsenal have been party to it. You know, I never felt a racist when I'm tweeting, because hopefully I'm not. And once Arsenal and that have agreed with these people, I'm sort of thinking, do people now see me as a racist? Because Arsenal basically said that I'm anti-Semitic and racist. You know, no, they said there's no anti-Semitism.
You feel like it's led to a damage in
yeah,
your
oh,
reputation?
100%, yeah. But fortunate enough, the people that know me know what I'm like. You know, one of my favourite quotes is, I believe, from a local football team, and I was told this: leave Mark Bonnick alone, he's a man of the people. I thought that was brilliant.
Do you believe that statement? Do you stand by it? Do you believe you're a man of the people? Mark Bonnick?
Would that be egotistical to think that?
It wouldn't be. You're allowed to have a little bit of an ego.
I just think it's known the people that have said it, that they're basically, I believe, a council team, like a council estate team. And I just thought, you know, and I know when I've gone to their weddings, their parties, they're pleased to see me. So maybe, yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Suddenly going to Che Guevara.
I mean, listen, we've gone to stranger places in previous interviews. We can go there as well. But I do want to ask you, because I'm looking at there's an Arsenal logo right in front of us here. When you see that logo, obviously I'm sure that your thoughts have changed, but what do you think of now when you see it?
When I see that, I still think of my team.
You still see that as your team?
That's my team. When I see, if you like, Arsenal and what they've done to me, I think of the people inside Arsenal that aren't there for Arsenal, they're there for themselves, to build their own little empires. Because if you like, it's elite sport. It should all be about where we are today, winning. But you have to do it in the right way. These people haven't. They've gone, oh, he's upset people. We need to do something because it's profit. So yeah, no, I'm still pleased to see that.
would you have changed if we were to go back in time, Mark? Would you have changed what you have said online? Would you have walked back things you have publicly said, or maybe not have gone through that, or
No.
no? Interesting that you'd say.
No, I don't. It's why would you not want to say the truth? Why would you not want to protect people?
Is this a matter of principle for you?
100%. It's like I said earlier. The FA said it was political. I said no, it's moral. I would not regret anything I said. If someone come out and said you're wrong here, showed me all the figures and whatever, I do not at any point think speaking the truth and trying to better people is wrong. It's like, if you like, you've got probably the most famous football manager in the world going on about the bird dropping water on a big fire. I sort of thought that was real apt with Pep's right, but how often did you see that in the media? I regret losing my job.
Sure.
But not with what I said.
So what is the current status? Because you have taken Arsenal to court, haven't you? You have a legal team.
Yeah, brilliant legal team.
So what would you like to see? What I guess perfect outcome would satisfy you?
Arsenal addressing how they've handled it, making sure they never put anyone through something like this again, and they have a clear, concise process of doing it. And if they have to involve other people in it, they don't try and hide it. They don't, oh, we needed to speak to these, but we're not telling you. So there's an openness and honesty to it. They pay me what I'm worth, pay me what I should get. You know, and already they've tried to be cheap. Just, I haven't read it all. You know, another thing for me is I started in 2001-2002 season. They've still not acknowledged that. I was paid by Arsenal. I wasn't on a full-time contract, but I was paid by Arsenal on a pay slip. They've not acknowledged that. And it's like, if I'm saying something to you, right, and you don't believe it, go and check with the people who might know. That's a simple thing. But oh no. It's funny because one of the legal cases, the big legal case is, I think it's David Miller, the Bristol University.
The professor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in a meeting, we've quoted that case, and they've gone, he's not an academic, he's not a thing. So I've just got, what, the thick kitman can't have an opinion? And they're like, Well, the word academia comes from the Greek word, a place of learning.
And you were a coach.
And no, not only a coach, I worked for Arsenal's academy. There's a little word, academy, it says academia, and coaching is teaching. So you're like, and regardless of what it was called or whatever, people are allowed to have an opinion. Don't think they're thick because the job they do, it's disrespectful.
What do you hope that those in charge, or those, if there's anyone listening to you from Arsenal right now, what not just what is it that you want them to hear, but what is it that you want them to hear in respect to what's happened to you over the last 2 years or so? Something that they might not even realize, like what has all this has caused you the past couple of years?
I think they know. I think part of the aim of it was to cause me damage, to cause me stress, to cause me anxiety, because they could quite easily have gone, well, the FA have said it's political, we believe it's political, we'll have a nice little word with him, Marky, don't do it again. But it's not. They've gone for me because they, like those behind it, want to send a clear message to people, like Reginald D. Hunter, you're not allowed to talk, silence. And as I said before, like they go on.
You think they're using it as an example, Mark? They want to use this as some sort of example for current and future employees, current and future players, current and future staff?
I think more than that.
More than that?
Yeah, I think the wider population. Look, if you talk out, we're going to make you lose your job. And this is a big football club, Arsenal.
When you say the wider population, do you mean like this is, you believe like that Arsenal is also playing into the whole idea of censorship when it comes to being in solidarity with Palestinian people? 100%.
Because if what I'd said is...
Or censorship in terms of criticizing Israel.
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, because if you have an opinion, you should be able to express that opinion. And I'm going back years ago, we had a meeting about being able to express your opinion, regardless. And I said and I tried to find out what this was called. And I said to a guy who had been on it with us, can you remember? He said, no, you know what I'm like. He says, we go to all them airy fairy things. He says, I just switched off. I said, I told you at the time I should have kept a note of this. But it was about being able to have your say. You should be able to say to people you don't agree with it. And they can go, well, you should. But I don't. And it was one of them. And I like Reginald D. Hunter. They try to cancel him because he sends a big message. And that's what they've tried to do here. Because people go, oh, he spoke out against Israel, he lost his job. We better not speak out.
What about your relationship with the fans? Have you been speaking to, I mean, because we've seen an outpouring of support for you online, but have you actually been in touch with Arsenal fans about this?
The people I know through Arsenal, and I've come to a couple of games since, but because of work, I don't get here. My friends have my tickets, and it's like them. One of the guys, he says, I've seen your stuff online. He says, it's a disgrace. And the various supporters clubs have come out. Arsenal haven't told us all this, and issued public statements. Yeah, most of the support I've got, great little story. I don't know if it's possibly the first time I did an interview up here. I'm outside the little cafe, Little Wonder, and I see these two blokes looking at me, and I'm thinking, oh, Jesus Christ, here it goes, I'll wait. So sort of you're preparing yourself. This bloke keeps looking at me, and I'm getting worried. He says, you're Mark, aren't you? Still right. I go, yeah. Oh, mate, what you've done is brilliant. What they've done to you is beep, beep, beep. Ah, you're brilliant. And I had a couple of badges on me, give them a couple of badges. They waxed lyrical, and they were from Newcastle. So I thought that was brilliant. And
Do you like it when people recognize you?
I don't think about it. And it's from old habits.
Sure.
You're worried that people recognise you.
Sure. But people do recognize you because of your story, don't they?
Yeah.
Some do.
Yeah. Well, yeah, proof in the pudding.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'd have to say, coming into the stadium, the people that did recognise me, it was all positive.
It was all positive.
Yeah. And you're worried about it. You're thinking, oh, here it goes. And I come up here for my grandson's first game, but he was a little bit too young. And you're like, oh, bloody hell, how do I handle it if people come at me? I've got him with me. And no one did. So, yeah. I think those that would obviously haven't looked at the full story, and I won't say biased, misinformed, ill-informed, and possibly indoctrinated.
As we're coming close to the Champions League final, which Arsenal's playing in, any particular thoughts on that? Not necessarily on the outcome of the game, but on the club itself, as it could potentially be such a historic year for the club, winning both the Premier League and the Champions League, and now a case like yours where there's a positive and there's a dark side as well.
I think there's more dark sides than just me. Well, I know there is. And for being there so long, I know so much. And I've actually said about like the cyberbullying and all that.
Yeah. How's
Arsenal going to deal with that? And bullying's a big thing. And I've asked my team about going to possibly ask for some more subject access requests to go on about the bullying, and it will see what Arsenal do about that. So that's another step. No, obviously I want them to win it. How bright would that
Still?
be? Yeah, cool.
Still, huh?
Yeah,
I'm blown away by your loyalty, Mark.
Well, I had this discussion, funny enough, Friday, how football clubs rely on people's loyalty, that, oh, you're working for us. Pay some of the people crap money.
Sure.
Other people great money, and rely on people to do it because they're wearing that badge. And the kid, self included, you walk out with this reflective glory. Look at me, I'm in an Arsenal kit. Yeah, I thought you do. It's funny. I see a bloke yesterday I haven't seen for, bloody hell, years, he recognised me, made comment, he told me a little story about myself. He said, that's all I remember. And I'm like, oh yeah, I said, that is probably how I was. But yeah, no, I really want them to win it. And I have friends there that it's good for them if they win it. But you sort of, when you hear of big businesses, and it's certainly within a team, because within a team, you're all basically the same. But here, they don't treat everybody the same.
What sort of example do you hope your story sets out? What do you hope that it leaves behind?
Justice.
Justice.
Yeah, I think that's the first thing that comes, and a pathway for people to be able to speak what they feel, as long as they're honest with it and it's not abusive or hurtful. And as I've said to people before, the truth can hurt, but if it's the truth, it's the truth, and you can't argue with it. So yeah, I just want people to know that if they speak out and they're victimised or put upon, that there will be justice for them. Because I'm sure, well, I know a lot of people look at this and look how disgraceful Arsenal have behaved, and they go on about bringing the club into disrepute. They've done more damage to their own reputation by how they've treated me and how they've portrayed it than I have.
You know what? We'll leave it here. Mark Bonnick, listen, it's been such a pleasure to
Thank you,
speak
sir.
to you, my guy. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for doing this. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Cut.